passing over CBJB in the sense of future policy. I believe contract supersedes policy, and if we need some, so we're not, by leaving it in, we may have an element of our handbook that needs to be reworded and realigned. We didn't write that contract that previous school committee put together, and I'll have to look at the contract myself to have an opinion on what lines up. I know there's some language in terms of not retirement, resignation. There's some language on renewal that has timelines. I don't recall what the other part. So what I would entertain.
I wasn't thinking of retiring anytime soon, so I don't even know if there's a retirement clause in my contract.
A little early for you to be worrying about that.
That's my point. We can send it to Andy to suggest some language that would, leave you the language for a future contract, and it doesn't conflict with the current contract for the superintendent. We can do that.
And
Then I'll bring it back.
Policy CCC, wasn't that also going to him? The one that's the exception that's not in here, we left that alone, I don't.
That may be in the next packet, because I think that was one of the ones that we didn't get to.
I thought that might have also had to do with some of the language.
There were a lot, all the CCs tend to deal with administration, and a lot of them had to do with what matches up with what's already out there.
So we'll add this to that. So I'll entertain a motion for approval of Section C of the Policies Manual, CA to CGA, except for Policy CCC and Policy CBJB.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And that's unanimous. And chair votes in favor.
CCC was staffing.
Okay. Thank you.
Just help you.
So that completes the action agenda. Making sure we're not ahead of schedule. Routine matters. We have the approval of the minutes of Wednesday, April 27th.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. For discussion matters, I'd mentioned we're approving minutes that we have rescinded some of the motions, so I assume your motion would include.
No, it shouldn't affect it, because the minutes only reflect what was done that day.
Okay, thank you for that clarification. So motion made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
And that's unanimous, 3-0. School committee business and correspondence. Got a letter here from the attorney firm, and a magazine publication. Look at those. Pass it on to the chair. And no other correspondence?
I do have a comment to make.
Is this under new business, or?
Yeah, it'll be under I was given notice from the Westmac PTO about their annual big auction that they have. I don't remember the date, if anyone remembers that, they're gone. But just to let people know to show up to it, and it's a big fundraiser for them, so if we're going to be hitting them up for some whiteboards, it'd be a nice thing to get
It's the
to.
20th.
Isn't it the 20th?
May 20th?
I think it's
Okay.
May 20th.
So the Westmac has a auction on a Friday evening. At the Westmac?
No, she gave me a card last year, it was at Rachel's. I'm thinking, I'm not sure where it's at. That's right, on Main Street in Fall River.
Across the street from the new
Courthouse.
courthouse.
Across from the new courthouse in South Main
And the
Street?
police fireman, who is one of our Westport from that fire,
Yes.
will be
auction as well as the silent auction.
And that is a big fundraiser for them, so
I hear it's
We'll
kind
get
of
third
fun.
grade smart boards.
It's a lot of
that's the
fun.
purpose.
Also,
There you
It's a lot of fun.
Sounds like a nice evening out on the 20th. I have a gift certificate for the restaurant next door, so I'll be in attendance.
On the way
The
there.
other thing, I got an email from the WestPAC, WEPAC, Parents Advisory Council, has a meeting coming up, and that's posted on our website, so I'd urge viewers to check on the Westport Community Schools, westportschools.org, to look at the schedule for those events. Any other new business or any comment statements from public?
I got a couple of new items, or at least new business items to have you consider.
Okay.
One is on the 25th, which is the day of schools committee, the second school committee for this month. We do have, presumably, we may end up with at least 2 nights of town meeting. Town meeting starts the 24th, 25th would be this day. Do you still want to have school committee? I would suggest we do, even if we try to keep it short. One of the things I would do on that day is certainly give you an update on the green projects and
Yes.
an update of where the budget is at for this fiscal year. By then, I'm hoping that we will have, made an amendment on town floor for next year's budget, but who knows, it may go into second night. So just wanting to make sure that we can still have like 5 to 6 or 6:30 and try to keep a short, tight agenda.
5 to 6:15,
Okay.
so we have some time for refreshments before the main event.
Okay.
So
Do you want me to
Who knows,
put
it may
in-
go longer, but yes, that should stay on the schedule. I'd also mention that the school calendar indicates town meeting is on the 25th, if you look at the school calendar. So we want
The school,
The district calendar?
to Google Calendar.
the town meeting or school committee?
It says town meeting on the 25th, not the 24th.
Oh, okay. And we'll have at least the update.
Which it will take place on the 24th, but it does not have it posted on the 24th as the first night.
Okay.
So we want to keep all our interested residents
Okay.
well informed.
And the last thing is, at least there's 3 of you here, would it be possible to have a school committee meeting during the day on July 5th? I know you're not working that day, so you can't.
How do you know that?
He's teaching summer school.
Maybe not.
July
Part of the
25th?
reason is Melissa will be taking vacation, so we hope to have everything done by like noon. So if we could have a school committee at 1 p.m., we can close out the books,
Account.
let the town, well, we want to let the town know if there's any money that we think it's going to go into free cash. They'd rather know that sooner rather than later. And they need the last set of bills already marked and paid so that we can close out the books. We'll also have all the transfers. So I'm hoping that you guys can find a way to do.
1 o'clock?
1 o'clock's fine, I just put it down.
Okay, July 5th at 1 o'clock?
Yeah.
We'll have to let the new person know. Need a motion?
1 p.m. Yep, you need the motion down at the bottom.
Make a motion. to
No, I
move
just
into
didn't know if you had
exec-
a...
No, that's it.
Oh.
Okay, motion.
Motion?
Motion to move into executive session. Are we returning?
For personal matters, and
Personal matters and for contract development.
Second.
And a
we will not be returning. Motion made and seconded.